Lions TV, we are sponsored by Regal Elevators and Lifts Consultants Limited, a company that is owned and operated by a Millwall fan, just like every single one of the sponsors that you can see on the screen right now. If you are going to do a bit of business in the chaos, the bedlam, the madness that is 2020, then please keep it in the Millwall family by checking out all of our sponsors' website links in the description below. This is Thursday. It's your Thursday Club VT. I'm losing track of days. Games are coming thick and fast. And at the minute, we are no stranger to taking them by the scruff of the neck and getting the job done. We're going to look back at last night's victory over Preston North End at Deepdale. We're going to look ahead to Saturday's game against Huddersfield at the Den. But first off, let's look back on a brilliant performance last night and the starting 11 that Gary Rowett, Adam Barrett, Sean Williams and Alex Pearce picked to start the match. So all jokes aside, I'm sure it was Gary the Gaffer that picked the starting 11, and with Sean Williams and Alex Pearce out of contention as they're managing the side from the touchline, that meant there was 4 changes from the team that drew 1-1 at the Den on Saturday against Barnsley. It was Bolkowski in goal. Alex Pearce dropped out and Murray Wallace moved into centre-back with Sean Hutchinson and Jake Cooper. Marlon Romeo played right wing-back. Scott Malone played left wing-back. Ryan Woods come back in to replace Sean Williams in the centre of midfield with Ryan Leonard alongside him. It was Jed Wallace wide right. It was Kenneth Zohor in for Bennett as striker in his first start in a Millwall shirt. And on the left, Bennett moved over and knocked Conor Mahoney out of the starting 11. Let's get on to what I said about the starting 11 before people want to pull me up any more in the comments. I do understand that when I say things, I can put myself in the firing line. Sometimes I'll get it right and sometimes I'll get it wrong. And I've always praised Bennett. And I've always thought Bennett was a great player. The last couple of weeks, I was starting to have doubts creeping in with him missing from, I can't remember what game it was, but missing altogether from a game. Could have been Wickham away, I'm not sure. But ruled out of that game for another slight injury, which he's had 3 or 4 of. And I would have preferred, especially on his recent performances, especially against Luton, Mahoney in that role. Another reason for that is obviously crosses into the box. You know, with big Kenneth up front now on his own. I think that would have suited Mahoney better. I do still stand by that decision. And what I'm going to say is this. First of all, Bennett was brilliant. He hasn't got 90 minutes in him still. So I'm going to take a positive from that and say there's still more to come from him when he is fully fit. Him and Jed last night, although they was wide, they got a lot closer. I felt there was a lot more central, and pretty much everything we did that was good in the game come through Bennett, but they was mainly from central positions. The shot he had in the first half that went just over the bar. Of course, our opening goal, which was a brilliant bit of skill, which we'll get onto later. But it was very central, and I felt that him and Jed got closer to Zohor last night. Another reason which, you know, I'm not a massive lover of the 3-5-2, as we know, but the reason I felt that worked last night is Kenneth Zohor is a big man like Matt Smith, yes, but he offers a completely different type of outlet to Matt Smith. Yes, he's strong in the air, no doubt. But if you look back at the goals he scored, I have posted that out on social media. If you go on YouTube and type in Kenneth Zohor Cardiff goals, you'll see exactly what he did for Cardiff is what he was doing last night. I always say we've got that detachment and we've got that missing link between the midfielders and the striker if we don't play a 10. But what Zohor does is he drops deep, he collects the ball deep and he spins players close in behind him. He just rolls them with his strength and away he goes. And he did that a couple of times last night. So yes, he's a centre forward, but I felt by him coming deeper and Bennett and Jed getting closer to him, I felt that made us a little bit more compact and give us a little bit of a better shape. Shout, by the way, has got to go out before we get into the game, before I forget, to whoever plays in the back three, especially Sean Hutchinson and especially Jake Cooper. And I've been saying this about Jake Cooper for a very, very long time. I honestly think he's the best centre-back in the division, bar none. I think he's absolutely brilliant. I think he's massively underplayed, underrated, maybe underappreciated just because he's just ever-present. He's just forever there for us. And I do honestly think Jake Cooper is by far and away the best centre-half in the league. And I've said this before and I'll say it again. I'll be very surprised if we manage to keep hold of him for another 2 seasons, because surely the big boys are watching. A great defender. Got everything about him. He's good on the ball going forward. Strong in the air at the back. Can score goals. And obviously consistent with his performances, not just on the pitch, but the sheer amount of games he gets in. I think it's something ridiculous, like 137 games straight now for Millwall. So let's get into the game. It was a good start. Promising down the right early on. Marlon Romeo, I'm not going to say anything horrible. Marlon Romeo did well in the early exchanges. Put a good cross into the box. A couple of good crosses. Some good interchanging with Jed. And also Zohor. Good balls into the box. Nothing really come of it. But we just look good. We just look sharp. Again, shout out to Ryan Leonard. I forgot to say it, in the Barnsley game, he was our best player in the Barnsley game, and again, he was on top form last night. He's added goals to his game, but he's also added to his game a real desire to press the ball high and hard and quickly and win balls back high in higher areas for us, which is absolutely spot on. And sliding tackles, he's getting back and making sliding tackles now. A completely different type of player than we saw under Neil Harris. So opening exchanges, we had slightly the better. Then the game died a little bit of a death, but it didn't die a death. It was a perfect performance from start to finish. What I mean by died a death, as in chances-wise. But even when we was in possession, keeping the ball, 20, 30 passes, making the opposition do the running, knocking the ball around the back, confident, you know, in little triangles, under pressure, still keeping our heads, still keeping our passing momentum going. And then when we didn't have the ball, pressing it very, very high. We had the better of the chances in the first half. I think Barkowski only took goal kicks. Nothing to do. Absolutely nothing to do. And again, that goes down to the defenders. It goes through the whole team. It was all brilliant from start to finish. And for those who say that I moan too much, or the boys at Lions TV who do the videos as well, we moan too much, that is all we want. Exactly what we got last night. And I understand you can't play like in every single game, but it was absolutely spot on. And that's a level I know for a fact that we can get to. A consistent level. We were consistent for the whole of the 90 minutes yesterday. And it does baffle me sometimes because, and I used to play a low level, yes, I'm sure some of you did, and whatever. Even if you played Sunday football, some days you walk on a pitch and you'd have a blinder, and other days you walk on a pitch and you think, I shouldn't have bothered getting out of bed this morning. It's usually one or the other. During games, our players seem to manage to go yo-yo between some of it quite often. Last night, they didn't do that. It was absolutely spot on. And for those, I said, who say, oh, moan, or the boys at Lions TV moan too much, that is all we're asking for. Complete commitment, dedication, desire, chasing balls down. And that wasn't, you know, it was a good performance last night. A very, very good performance. A brilliant result. We just completely controlled the game. It was very professional. It wasn't outrageously brilliant, you know, with moves and goals we put together, but it was everything you want from a Mill side. So I know they can get to that level. You know they can get to that level. So we shouldn't expect anything less. So you won't be at it in every game, but for the majority, that is exactly what I personally, and I'm sure some of you, do expect. So as we move towards half-time, I think Mason Bennett hits a shot, which is brilliantly saved by the goalkeeper. Again, he took that in a very central area, turned on it, very confident, 30 yards out, nearly catches the Preston goalkeeper out, but that wasn't to be. There was another point where Bennett come down the left, cut inside, played some brilliant interchange with Jed, and Jed tests the goalkeeper. And you could just sense that it was coming. You could just sense that the longer this game went on, the more chance we had of getting something out of it. The second half, again, was even better than the first, and eventually we get the breakthrough. Marlon Romeo goes in for a sort of a tackle, but the Preston player sort of half pulls out. Marlon strikes one, and it's going towards Bennett on the halfway line, sort of head height. He jumps, chests, and turns in one motion. Absolutely brilliant. Goes forward. It's a brilliant counter-attack. He doesn't panic. He puts a lovely little, sort of almost a toe-punted outside of the foot ball through to Jed. Jed looks up, doesn't panic, rolls it across to the big man, and he couldn't really miss, but perfect positioning. He's just such a... I know Matt Smith is big as well, and I'm not, you know, I love Matt Smith, but Zohore is such a presence. He just looks fucking huge. He's as wide as he is high. He's just like a giant square. But yeah, it's a brilliant positioning for him. Great for him to get off the mark and get his first goal for the club and his first start. And again, I think, as I say, with Bennett, blew out of 70 minutes. I still think there's more to come from Zohore once he finds his feet and gets a little bit fitter. Then, you know, I didn't ever feel after that we was in danger of losing the game. I really didn't, or even Preston coming back into it. They do, however, have a brilliant chance. We defended well all night, but you can't odds this ball. It's a Ryan Woods-esque type ball. It's a flat ball in behind Marlon Romeo and Sean Hutchinson. Barkowski comes out and makes an absolutely outstanding, technically, but also a brilliantly brave save and keeps the score at 1-0. After that, we go up the other end. Cross comes in. Goalkeeper dives out, parries it. Murray Wallace comes in the box. The left-sided centre-half tries to take a shot on his right foot in the box. He's pulled down. It is a blatant penalty. And the ref was good last night. But the ref was fair, which we don't always get. And it's a penalty. Jed Wallace steps up, sends the goalkeeper the wrong way. And again, I was frustrated at times with Jed last night. And you can't argue what he does. He's our main man. And the reason I do get frustrated with Jed is because I know Jed's better than the rest of them. And I just expect more for him. Sorry, Jed. You're a little bit... You're not like a teacher's pet. You're a little bit the opposite because you get more shit than you should off me because I know you're better than the rest of them. Well, saying that, I used to know you was better than the rest of them. Now we're getting players, strong players that are getting a little bit closer to Jed's level in general. And it's good to have that strength in depth of quality players amongst the club. So 2-0. Didn't think it was Jed's greatest game, I'll be honest. Run down the wing a couple of times. Opportunities to take on a fullback in an area. And instead of having the confidence to take on the fullback, he tries to do that little, just where he tries to kick off their ankles and get a corner. So he pissed me off, but once again, he's been a match winner. He set up one and he scored the second, and he got in team of the week. So just shows what I know. I will keep on Jez Case though, just to keep him on his toes. I know he likes to watch, so I'll keep him on his toes. A 2-0 win. Could have been more, couldn't it, at the end? Could have been more. Brilliant performances across the pitch. Ryan Woods again, glad he was back in the side. A good performance from him. Again, maybe he's getting to a level which you just expect. His distribution is brilliant. I don't think Ryan Woods, he'll play a key part in the victory. I don't think he's ever going to single-handedly, because the type of the player he is and where he plays on the pitch, I don't think he's ever going to single-handedly win you a game. I don't think you're going to go, we won that today because of Ryan Woods. And that's no disrespect to him. He's not the player at the business end of things, but he is definitely the engine that keeps things ticking over, keeps the momentum going through bouncing passes, left, right and central. And, yeah, listen, can't fault them. Can't fault them. Ryan Woods, Ryan Leonard, definitely at the minute our best option in the centre of midfield. Really, really warming to Ryan Leonard, just getting better and better with every game. And I'll say, listen, again, for those saying to me last night, Mason Bennett, oh, you bet you this age well, I bet you feel stupid now. I will happily sit here and be wrong. I'd rather sit here and players prove me wrong. If Bennett would have played shit last night, we wouldn't have won the game. We don't win the game, the team don't go up the table. The team don't go up the table, we haven't got the chance as fans of seeing the club in the top flight, which is something I'd love to see. And let's have it right, if I get there, my YouTube channel goes through the roof. Everyone's a winner. So I would happily be proven wrong time after time by Mason Bennett, who was superb last night, by Ryan Leonard, who was superb last night. Every single one of them. Shall I spin a negative on it? Oh, fuck it, go on, I'm going to do it. Marlon Romeo. I know we all love him. I know he's Millwall, proper Millwall through and through. Been at the club a long time. I honestly think he's the weak link in the team now. Honestly. I don't see a pattern of play in the game. I'm going to get so much shit for this, but I'm going to say it because I've just got to tell you what I think, honestly. I don't see a pattern of play in that game last night where he doesn't give the ball away. Other than a chance very early on where he does well. Every time Marlon Romeo gets the ball, he runs forward. Whether he misplaces a pass, whether he gets tackled, whether he tries something that quite doesn't come off, or he tries a shot that goes wide or deflects and hits the side netting, it always ends with Marlon Romeo losing possession. 9 times out of 10, in my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong, but especially when I'm commenting on these live streams, I don't think he's very good. I'm sorry. I think he's the weak link in the team. If I had to pick one, I'd pick Marlon Romeo. But hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully we'll carry on. And if we keep getting clean sheets, I can't really argue. So let's move on to Saturday's game against Huddersfield Town at the Den. A real chance to progress. We're already seeing 4th, joint 2nd, joint 3rd, not sure what, but a brilliant opportunity once again to keep the pressure on at the top end of the table. As I said, you know, this league is there for the taking this season, in my opinion, and I'm not the only one that thinks that. Big Kev Toomey said the same thing in his post-match video against Barnsley, and I really do feel I'm on board with him that it's a real chance this year. We've got a real chance. Stranger things have happened in 2020. Let's put it that way. At the Den on Saturday, our opposition are Huddersfield Town. They currently sit 16th in the table. They've played 8, won 3, drawn 1, and lost 4 of their opening matches. But here's the good news. They've lost their last 2 games against Preston, and last time out, last night, losing 2-1 on the road to Birmingham at St Andrews. At this point, I usually do a one to watch, but I'm going to talk about their manager because it's completely random. I looked him up today. I fucked up the other day when I got the Barnsley manager wrong, so I wanted to make sure I absolutely got it spot on. Huddersfield Town are now managed by Carlos Colbaran, the 37-year-old manager. That is very young for a manager. He's actually 3 years younger than me. Was Leeds under-23 manager for the last 3 seasons. This is his first job in professional, proper management, call it what you will. He retired from the game at 23 years old. He was Valencia's B team goalkeeper. He couldn't break into the team at any level, so he just thought, fuck this, he kiboshed it and went into coaching. And now at 37 years old, he is Huddersfield Town's first team manager. Could be the most boring thing I've ever told you on the channel, but I liked it, so I went with it. So this is your pre-match prediction, and here we go. I can't see anything other than a Millwall win. I did take into consideration last week that it was Barnsley. We beat Huddersfield, of course, on the last game of last season at home 4-1. You can't read too much into that. But I'm going for more of the same. I'm going for a 3-0 Millwall win with Mason Bennett, Jeb Wallace and Ryan Leonard to get the goals in a 3-0 comfortable victory, which could see us go as high as 2nd, I do believe. Injury worries for us ahead of this game, of course. Kenneth Zohor limped off last night. Looked like a calf injury to me. I don't know anything on that front for the 255,000 inboxes I've had. I don't know anything on that one. Hopefully, you know, he'll be back sooner rather than later. Judging by the way he's limping, Saturday could be a push. So I'll go straight with Matt Smith and keep the team as close to last night's victory as we possibly can. Don't be shy to check out the fans' score predictions from the other boys at Lions TV. Their video's gone in and around this video. And if you think you know what the score's going to be, do not be shy to put it in the comments below. I'll be back on Saturday for a live stream from 2:30. Come join me. Please subscribe to Lions TV. Come on, you Lions.